If you build your Brave Hector the way that I'm about to show you, your Brave Hector is just going to mow over so many things that it's incredible. Greetings and salutations, killers. Welcome back. We're talking about Brave Hector, and this guy's a beast. Let's get to it. Let's get his digits. This is the stat line that people dream about whenever they think of armored units. He doesn't have a dumpster fire for resistance. He has a wonderful defense. He has a wonderful attack. He has really good hit points. Note that he has a super boon on defense, and that's going to bring his 174 BST to 175, and that's going to get you more arena points. If you don't know why, I have a card right now that you can go listen to some of my thoughts and how to actually maximize your points for arena. Otherwise, yeah, this is what you want if you want to bring him into arena. And his speed, something had to give, right? I mean, you can't just power creep everything. So his speed sort of took a hit. But you know what? There's already skills to just patch that up. Don't worry about putting them on him, though. Let's take a look at what he swings with. He's a lance unit. He doesn't have Armads. What the heck was IS thinking? Probably they didn't want to come up with a 4th iteration of Armads. But regardless, he has Matet. And what this is going to do for you is, in addition to a little stat bump, it gives you the acceleration cooldown of 1, and it gives you a double tap whenever you're initiated on, as long as you have 50% hit points or above. So it's either a weaker form of Vengeful Fighter or a stronger form of Quick Riposte. It depends if you're a glass half full or half empty kind of person. He has Ignis Stock, which is great with that defense that he has. That is quite amazing. And then if you take a look at the rest of his kit, I'm sorry guys, he doesn't have distant counter. He has Ostian counter. It is a distant counter that also builds in extra stats whenever he is initiated on. This is amazing. It's not as broken as you would think, but it's going to give him that extra boost that he needs in a couple of corner cases that just sort of round things off. And so it's wonderful. You know, why not? His B slot is Bold Fighter. So if you're worried about him, his potential in both phases, there's no worry now. He is this amazing dual-phased unit right out the gate. His C slot, since his B slot, his resistance was not amazing, just okay, that patches that up a little bit. It's even resistance wave. Every even turn, he's going to get 6 onto that and give his buddies 6. It's wonderful. We're going to abuse that here in just a moment. And let's go into the builds. The first build really is just a maximized arena build for him, using Aether, switching out and giving him a good dual rally for his assist. And we're giving him attack play on this. This is really good because his resistance is wonderful for that attack play when it comes down to it. It's going to proc against everybody that you're not going to be able to just chew through. And so that's really amazing. And on top of that, every even turn, remember, we're going to get 6 more. And since we don't need Quick Riposte in that seal slot, we have the room to do that. So we're talking attack ploy, and whenever I evaluate a build for its effectiveness, I have a tool that I call the DPT, Deltran's PvP Threats. It's a curated list. Link down the doobly-doo if you want to see who's in it. That link will let you copy-paste that into the Arctic Fox's battle simulator, or if you go to the Andu 2 simulator, it's already in the drop-down for one of the customized lists. Go there, you get to see the numbers I'm ready to talk about. And so, as I mentioned, this Hector is a dual-phase monster with ploy active. You are getting some really great results here. 22 wins and 11 losses on initiation. That's a pretty good spread. And then on the reverse side, we'll talk about that in a moment. But I mean, on the initiation, you get a lot of people and there's no surprises here. You are winning against the people you would expect to win against. You're losing against the people you would expect to lose against here. There's only 1 red unit on the DPT. You do not kill on initiation, and there's only 1 blue unit that kills you whenever you are doing the same. So that's good. That's wonderful. So watch out for Zelgius, watch out for Harden especially. You just can't really match his toughness, so be careful of that. On the flip side, whenever you are defending, however, yeah, you can go ahead and actually kill that Zelgius now, which is great. Harden no longer punks you down. Without even resistance wave being active, you are losing to a lot of mages. With it active, you're still losing to a good handful of them. I mean, like Reinhardt's still taking you down. You're not an impenetrable fortress, and you're losing to some green surprise. But you're doing a really good showing here, to be quite honest with you. He's a solid dual phase unit. He has great matchups, and you could just field him like this, and if you just need to bump him out for arena points, this is what you're gonna get. He's a great unit. You don't need to tweak him out. But you know, I'm ready to talk about a couple of builds here after we just looked at this baseline. There's gonna tweak a few things that I think are super important. These are the kind of things that you need to look at for building your Brave Hector, because this is going to open up a lot of extra room for you to dominate. If you build your Brave Hector the way that I'm about to show you, your Brave Hector is just going to mow over so many things that it's incredible, and it's a little bit unintuitive at first. Let's talk about what we need to do with him now. The big brain thing that I want to convince you to do is to give him a slaying lance. This is important because if you give him a slaying lance, this shifts him around to only worrying about one phase, and then you can start to stack things. This gives us a great foundation that lets him leverage buffs way better, way better. We no longer have a great enemy phase anymore. We're not just handing over victories, but we don't have a great enemy phase anymore. But we do switch things around such that our initiation is a lot more steadfast. You can't be baited by green units anymore, really, with this. You're really withstanding a lot when it comes down to that. And that is wonderful, because if you put him on your defensive team, everybody's expecting to be like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and bait him. He has that bold fighter, but I can go chew through that with green. Not anymore. Not anymore. You can still attack into people now, and yeah, you're living against so many other things. Nothing that you would actively, as a player, engage in unless you really need him to pull that double duty to like reduce a green's hit points really low. But otherwise, this is very interesting. Now, I already mentioned that he handles buff so much more because of the extra hit points he gets from this. And I'm recommending defense when, for this particular build instead of attack. So you are losing the attack, and that's where some of your kills are coming up short. But you know what? Boosting the other Hector's build's attack doesn't really do anything. Boosting this Hector's build's attack gives him that killing ability back. It lets him still be resistant to things. And that extra hit points means that you don't need to have to buff everything. You can put a simple goad on him. You can have a simple hone attack on him. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's a lot better user of buffs, and that gives you so much more flexibility on the battlefield, because while I like to build something to be a killing machine in and of itself, you have 3 other schmucks on the team, and sure, they're not Hector unless you're doing Hector Emblem, but they need to have a purpose, and this is their purpose, is to make sure that your Hector lives through pretty much everything. So this build's a little bit weird, but let's go ahead and take it one step further with this other build. This is so much fun. If you put Wary Fighter on him, he just walls off so much stuff, guys. And then switch out to defensive ploy, because now with attack ploy on the other one, that was nice because it did keep him up a little bit more. Plus attack ploy, in my opinion, is easier to use to support the rest of the team with. Defensive ploy is very selfish, and you want people to come to you, and it can be harder to use in a selfish manner, but I think you can manage this. You just put Hector somewhere where he's standing out in the middle of the field, straight ahead of somebody, and you can bait them in, and you're not dying. Let's take a look at these obituaries here. I mean, look at that. Are you getting as many wins as you were before? No, but you're not dying. You just can't die. And you're blocking so many things that you might not be killing the green mages, but no green mages are killing you. It's amazing. I'm just so tickled about this particular build because it comes from left field, it switches things around, and he has such a great foundation here that you can just easily exploit it if you just go with the basics. And it just goes to show that the DPT, these are all builds that people run in Arena. These are all builds that people have put the stamp, yes, this is the best. You're just sort of shutting down the best there is, and it's amazing. even if you don't have the ploy going off, which I do calculate this with the ploy going off, you're still living against so much that you're not dying to anything. It's wonderful. So seriously, it's not Armads he's swinging with. You could just put that spear down, pick something else up. I hope you're not surprised that slaying lance is what I'm recommending. Slaying weapons are just broken across the board, but that's a topic for another time. What do you think about Brave Hector? Are you going to go ahead and switch out and be awesome, or are you going to go ahead and keep his whatever he's got right now? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.